Okay, over on the left-hand side, we got FXB Draz. Over on the bottom right, NightSlayer907. And let's see what NightSlayer is bringing to the table. I haven't got to see NightSlayer play yet. I've actually never seen NightSlayer play, which is rare for me to say because of my replay casting. I've normally got my nose on the competitive scene, either casting or hosting. But again, these are newer players coming in, which is really exciting to see, man. You know, I know we're a small game, and we've been around for over 3 years now. You know what? But we're stable. We got a 6-farm Warren from NightSlayer, by the way. Draz about to scout it. Draz can... Ooh, actually doesn't get the full scout, though. Just finds the opponent's location and goes home. So maybe... Oh, but Draz... Or NightSlayer sells it anyways. It's kind of rough to say. Like, if it was 6-farm Lizard, maybe I would have been more hyped for it. But the problem is, you know, it's a bit of a wonky map. You got to go through this water. Rush distances are pretty reasonable. You know, even if Draz went for an 8-farm opening, you know, by the time NightSlayer got over there with a couple squirrels, he might have been fine. Either way, I think it's safer. You know, in general, doing like... How do I put it? So, it's real easy to, like, try to rush, you know, especially as a beginning player. Because that's a way to get, like, some cheesy victories and stuff. And, oh yeah, I'll do a 5-farm double. But the problem is, it's very high risk in, like, medium reward. I wouldn't go as far as to say, like, low reward. But, you know, something like a 5-farm double or any pre-8-farm Warrens, you really got to get some serious damage in. Otherwise, your opponent is going to be at an advantage just from the fact that they got their farms up faster. You know what I mean? And that kind of thing is better to do at higher levels of play. Especially when you get some mind games involved. Or like in a series, like I'll whip out a 5-farm double every now and then on the ladder. Or against like a high-level opponent. And... you know, most of the time it's just a dance. Like, I go 5-farm double, they scout it, they go 6-farm double, I scout, they win 6-farm double, I sell down to a 7-farm single, you know, etc., etc. And we're both just kind of, like, trying to one-up the other one and eke out a farm. Or oh, you didn't scout this time around, and you didn't see that I went for it. A lot of times, how people get that to work is you'll like feign that you're going 8 farms, and then you hope that they don't do another follow-up scout, right? Like maybe they went to just scout the map or something, didn't see you sell. Anyways, I'm rambling on about pre-8 farm aggression while there's actually things to comment on in this game. We've got a macro game on our hands, and honestly, the level of play we're seeing here looks pretty sharp to me. You know, these are guys that are both going in, they're both scouting what their opponent's up to. They're both trying to match it and stay ahead. You know, they're trying to get into the tier 2. They're not overbuilding the tier 1. Lots of scouting for both sides. But again, I really feel like Draz's deck here, as much as the FXB people will not like me saying this, Draz is almost like the antagonist, right, of the anime right now. And his opponents are the protagonists. And the reason is because if you just leave Draz alone, I mean, his late game is going to be very, very hard to dismantle. It's kind of up to NightSlayer to get in there and deal with Draz before you allow Draz to get up to this, like, wolf, owl, snake. Because that is a hell of a composition. Anti-FXB rhetoric? No, man. He's One Punch Man. But let's see it. You know, maybe... I don't know. I actually don't mind NightSlayer's comp here. As we saw, the boars, you get double boar. You can basically deal with the mice. But the problem is dealing with the snake. Maybe just having your own snakes. We're getting into 3 bases now. And you know, we're kind of in a gentleman's agreement here. these are kind of interesting matches to see, because we're going to get up to these death ball armies, right? Like, both players on straight up 20 farms right now at the 5-minute mark, right? And not for no reason either. You know, they have been scouting constantly, seeing that both sides want to play green. Neither one wanted to, you know, put the pedal to the metal and trigger a timing attack or try to do anything wonky. They're like, all right, man, I trust in my comp. I'm going to get there in the late game. But ultimately, Draz does have this 4th base. And NightSlayer does not have a 4th base on this map. NightSlayer gets a couple consolation campfires, you know, but that's definitely not the same thing as having a mill. And Draz is trying to get this defended here. He's got some balloons up on the way. Here's that big owl surge. But NightSlayer's got units right here, right now. If NightSlayer just waits another minute or so for a few more falcons. Let's see if this wolf, skunk, snake army can make it happen here. Big engagement coming in. Draz starting to turn around. Maybe not super confident in this fight. And retreating in Tooth and Tail is very, very bad most of the time. I mean, sometimes you got to do it. Like, you know, losing a couple units on the retreat is definitely better than losing your entire army. But let's see, man. Let's see if NightSlayer's cracked the code. He can deal with this comp. He's going to come in now. And again, Draz is so supply blocked, cannot get out the other Owl Warrens. Is sitting on, you know, 540 food and Warrens that are not doing anything. Just lost a whole bunch more food on those balloons. And NightSlayer is slamming through. The Slayer of the Nights. It is nighttime. He is slaying. Loses the commander, but got enough damage done. Draz taps out. And match number 1 going to NightSlayer. And I think NightSlayer played awesome. That was a really smart time to try to attack. Like, right when Draz was trying to get out, try to get established on that 4th base. But at the same time, Draz did make some mistakes there. You know, those owls were supply blocked for a very long time. And, you know, that kind of thing can lead to a loss. So I think it was a mix of both, to be honest. I think NightSlayer hit a sharp timing. You know, when Draz was starting to try to spread his tendrils to that 4th base, get those balloons set up. But at the same time, you know, Draz did not manage the economy 100% correctly going into the ultra late game there, and it had a lot of blocked tier 3. All right, over on the right hand side, competing for a 3-0 victory, we've got Draz, and on the bottom left, up 1 match in the series already, also looking for that perfect score, we've got NightSlayer. Draz changing it up this time. All right. I wonder if I've only seen that one deck out of him because he's a if it ain't broke, don't fix it player, you know, which is very tempting to do that kind of thing. Like, hey, if I'm playing this style and I'm playing this deck and I'm winning, why do anything differently? But now Draz has taken a loss here in this series and has changed up the deck, still committing to the wolf, but that's about it, you know. Artillery Ferret, really cool style. Not something we see very often. Meanwhile, NightSlayer is just got this bread and butter deck, you know? I mean, it just standard, just tried and true. I love it. I think he's got too many tier 2. Like, I would take something like what NightSlayer has here and maybe sub out one of those tier 2s for, like, lizards and tell a new player, like, play this deck. Like, this is a good deck to learn the game with. Dude. Oh my god, the chat is cracking me up. Alright, Lizard Toad coming out of Draz so far. Moving across the map, gonna see if try to get anything done here. Nice sell from NightSlayer. Man, both these players are really Playing very strong for beginners, I gotta say. A little bit too big for his britches there, though, is Draz. And that attack gets a little bit botched, and this is what's so risky about aggressive strategies. You know, if you mess it up, I mean, NightSlayer is actually ecoing right now, but NightSlayer could have just won the game. Most likely. Most likely. If he would have just drilled down some tier 1 and pushed across the map, you just win right there, I think. I think Draz lost enough. Especially if NightSlayer had moles. But this is what I'm kind of talking about, where it's really fascinating seeing these players. I mean, they're playing great for beginners, but it's like little things like that you've just got to learn with experience. There's Draz! Oh my god! Draz with the 10 toads, man. Okay, I'm in love with Draz now. I said in a Tooth and Tail replay to give me the toads. Now he's just trolling, man. Is this a, this might be like the protect your ego kind of troll, you know? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I only lost because I started screwing around building toads. Because honestly, NightSlayer, before the big toad, the Chad toads coming out of Draz, NightSlayer wasn't a really good spot. I think there was a window to win the game right there, but again, that's something you kind of need to be an experienced player to understand. And, but Draz could have definitely come back. Like, it wasn't checkmate. Oh, man. I love it, though, dude. I'm down. I'm down with the Chad Toads. Alright, are we done? As soon as I say I'm down with it, man, Draz is like, I'm just kidding, lol. Yeah, he's just screwing around now, so... NightSlayer is gonna take it. 3-0, you guys. Congratulations to NightSlayer. However, Draz is still gonna, I guess, tie for second place with the 2-1, right? I'm not sure how we're dealing with that. A little bit of an anticlimactic finish here. But you know what? We got some really good games earlier on. Oh no. Oh no, you guys. Come on, don't do this to me. We've got other matches to play. Do we have other matches to play? What is Satoris doing? Now there's some mutual trolling going on. Okay, Nicolaccio and Rattan are playing right now. Okay, now NightSlayer's gonna end it. I was like, dude, if NightSlayer starts trolling.